Welcome to Brew on It. My name is Megan. This is my February reading wrap-up, done in the garage with yucky background because either it happens here or it doesn't happen. So, the bookshelf challenge word I had for February was size, and I tried to read One Small Sacrifice and end up DNFing it. And then I tried to read the Thrones of Glass series, which is about that thick, and I DNF'd that as well. So, been too long, couldn't get into it. I don't know what to tell you. The rest of the series I loved when it was fresh in my mind, and it's just been too many years. So, gave up. The first book of 9 that I did read in February was fantastic. 5 stars for Across the Ages, which is number 4 in the Timeless series, written by Gabrielle Mayer. I have spoken about this ad nauseum to all of my friends and fellow readers. If you have not tried the Timeless series, trust me, you need to. It is a dual timeline with time travel, historical fiction, and our main character, Caroline, is a stowaway cabin boy on a ship, and she runs into handsome pirates. Need I say more? I should just stop there. Her other timeline, she is the daughter of a renowned pastor, and there are tones of grace and redemption through this whole series. It's fabulous. It gets me teary-eyed every time, and I highly recommend it. So, 5 stars. The second book I read was the third book in the Fourth Wing series called Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I gave it a 3.5. I love the dragons, absolutely love the dragons, and Rebecca Yarros knows how to write a cliffhanger. So I will be reading more, so I know what happens to Andarna. As far as the other parts of the book, I'm not a big fan. So we'll see what happens with the plot. She knows how to plot. I'll give her that. The juvenile conversations and there's a war going on, but you need to get to class fell a little flat for me. So the third book I read was called These Silent Woods. It was a last-minute pickup by Kimmy Cunningham Grant, and it was a suspense father and daughter mystery. And there was moments of redemption in that as well. I liked it. I liked that one. So 4 stars. The next one I read was Listen for the Lie. A friend of mine told me about this. It was by Amy Tintera, and I listened to it on audiobook, which I highly recommend because at the beginning of the chapters that are the podcast, there's actually an intro like you're listening to the podcast. So it was fabulous. Great, really well done. The audiobook, yes, I read that. The segues were great. And the premise is amnesia. So did she kill her friend? And this podcaster comes into town and is trying to find the truth, and she's helping him, trying to figure out whether she did it or she didn't do it, because she honestly doesn't know. And it was a twisty end. I liked it. So 4.5 stars for that one, just because it's not everybody's cup of tea. It is about a murder. Did she murder her best friend or did she not? So read at your own risk, but you'll like it. The next one I read was called Savage Son. This is book 3 in the Terminal List series by Jack Carr. It is I would say, a political thriller. Not too heavy on the politics, but definitely has a lot of terminology that's blacked out and things like that. So the opening prologue, though, very gripping, and it kept me reading to the end, so I knew how it played into things. So my husband and I are reading that series together, and we are on book 4, The Devil's Hand, I believe is what it's called. Okay, so 3.5 for Savage Son for me. If I had rated it on the prologue, I would have given it a 5, but you had to like really circle around. He has so many things that are interwoven that at just 3.5. 3.5. So the next book I read was Daughter of the Pirate King by Tricia Levenseller. The reason I picked this up was actually because book 2 I saw at the library had a really cool, not the spine, the other part, the pages were decorated on the side. It had a skull and crossbones and dagger all in green, and it just caught my eye. So I was like, well, this is book 2. I can't read that one. I got to read book 1 first. So I grabbed Daughter of the Pirate King by Tricia Levenser. This is full of torture, brutal conversations, snark. She's half siren, which you find out because book 2 is called Daughter of the Siren Queen, which is, I actually gave 5 stars. 4 stars for the first one, 5 stars for the second one. Interpret that how you may, but it was great. The second one I liked more. The next one I read was Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. This is the first in the Kindred's Curse, and I gave this one 5 stars. This is a romantasy, I believe is what it's called, fantasy and romance, and I really enjoyed the premise and the bravery and the unknowns. There's so many unknowns, so I have book 2 on my nightstand. We shall see what happens. The next one I read is called Uneasy Street by Becky Wade. This is the third one in the Sons of Scandal series. I've really enjoyed it, but this character, the main character, I had a harder time connecting with, so this one I only gave a 4. The last book I read is called The Assistant to the Villain, full of snark, fun, easy, and I have book 2 that I'm already started with because I gave that one a 5, enjoyed it. Fantasy. Yeah, it was great. So that's what I read in February. The bookshelf challenge word for March is time. So wish me luck.